And I think what has happened because of the speed of change in AI and the publicness of that speed of change, there's been a perception that the latest thing is what you need to solve all of your problems, partly because that's why it's sold to us, but also partly because once you get onto that flywheel of what's the latest new thing, what's the thing that came out this week, what's the thing that came out this morning.
And Brandon hit it on the head with one of the vendors today. I mean, so Fable 5 has been out for 5 days, 6 days. I mean, can you use your service with Fable 5? And the answer was maybe.
Yeah.
It's happening so fast.
And then should you use your service with Fable 5 when you're in a large enterprise organization and is thinking about data governance?
The question is not whether
management.
you should or not. Can you stop them? You can't stop people from using these things.
Yes.
And put all the gates you want in front of it, but they'll find a way.
And I think that's the thing. We heard so much about agents and agentic, and there's such a rush by all the vendors to say they do all of this. And it's like, I think Ray made this point earlier. It's like human in the loop use cases we haven't even met most of those. So why there's I guess I do know the land grab, people feel like, all the money and potential spend is there, but there's no reason we can't just, some of these vendors and everyone just be like, hey, let's just solve some of these problems here. Let's just make it easy to use the latest model, human in the loop, do some basic tasks. I think a lot of people would be excited about that.
Right. And I think it's also driven by the fact that all these large language model deliveries and versioning, it's not because us consumers are asking for it. It's because Anthropic and OpenAI are competing with each other, and they're trying to compete just amongst them. And the way they do that is by delivering those much more capable large language models, even though it might have no effect on our use case.
It affects somebody's use case. Otherwise, they wouldn't have decided to go down this path. But they're getting more complex. They're getting more capable. And, the stuff that I do today versus the stuff I would have done 6 months ago, it's not even close.
Yes.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And so what's the power bill for that data center in your basement that's changed how you use it in the last 6 months? Have you had to upgrade?
I think it's time to upgrade my GPU to get more hardware.
Well, maybe you should optimize it so you could utilize that technology better.
Perhaps. But I'm not running Kubernetes, so it's kind of hard to do.
It is. And I think the challenge is finding the payback for the effort that it would take to optimize, particularly since Ray is not himself yet a multi-billion-dollar spending company.
Apparently not.
Who can afford to spend time on the optimization. You're still doing that land grab of what can I do? What problems can I solve? And that range of land that you can grab to do new things continues to just keep expanding. That's a challenge for turning this into an enterprise-ready product.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to build an open framework where you can plug in and remove and replace and then some kind of benchmark towards your own use case where you can run it for a few hours or a few days and say, okay, it does better or worse, and this is what I want, and switch.
One of the vendors today was talking about, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it took him 6 months to modify, a benchmark, so it did what he wanted to do, and then he did it last week on another one, and he'd probably do it tomorrow within 1 day or something like that. It's just bizarre.
Well, yeah, now he's got the markdown file that describes the functionality he wants. It comes down to, is the model going to build me a better version than last week's model?
I just wanted to build a billion-dollar business for me, and so I can sit back and have it.
That's right.
I'm with you. Yes, amen.
Just build the $1 billion. We don't need the business.
That's true.
But I think the markdown files, are important because it helps the large language model to kind of understand and narrow what you're looking for. Yeah, and so I think that might be one of the easiest ways to increase efficiency and reduce usage is by having a markdown file that narrowly describes what you want to the point where the large language model doesn't have to give you more information than you need to. I mean, in the end, it's what people talk about is token economics, right? It's tokens in, tokens out. But what people forget is that in the middle, there's a lot of tokens being generated, right?